technical issues with Zoom and my internet, and lately it's just been bad, so I apologize for that. Today, if you're just joining us, first of all, spring is sprung, yay, it's spring 2022. And I have to say, thank you all to my clients out there who have booked, who have contacted me, who have returned from travel. Thank you, everybody. Yes, COVID put us all in the back pocket for travel for a while, but hey, all of a sudden it's exploding. And if you're planning on traveling, especially this year, get on the ball, especially a lot of places are selling out, especially if you have special needs, mobility issues, you know I'm high on doing that. A lot of rooms, a lot of cruise lines, that's the first rooms that go are the wheelchair accessible rooms. Depending if you need fully accessible room or not, get on the ball. Those rooms do go fast, especially if you want to go with a number of people. I had to find another cruise for some friends and family that wanted to go to Alaska, which we'll be talking about today. And if you're looking at my picture, this is Glacier Bay, and that's the Crown Princess in the background. And I'm going to be talking about some of the best cruise lines to use for Alaska, especially the places that you really want to go to. All of them go to Alaska, not all of them go to all the places you may think. And also on a 7-day cruise, you may not be able to go to all the places that you may think you can do if you're not doing a cruise tour. So there are two different types of cruises, and I'm going to start with that before we get into the nitty-gritty of cruising. First of all, Alaska is a state in the United States, so yay, Alaska is open. I will say, if you're concerned about passports, the only stop you will have an issue with is Victoria or Vancouver. You will need a passport since they are not part of the United States. So Canada, you do need a passport to enter, but you do not need a passport to cruise with Princess through Alaska or any of the other cruise lines. Again, unless you're cruising out of Vancouver, British Columbia. So that all being said, there are a couple of types of cruises out there. In the midst of it, first of all, cruise season for Alaska is not year round. And it's not cold all year round either. Okay, it's from early May to early September to cruise. Some cruise lines that are smaller than the, I'm going to say the major market cruise line, Celebrity, Princess, Holiday America, places like Uncruise or Windstar or some other smaller kind of yacht cruises, they do go a little earlier and a little later into Alaska, but these are people that want something different. They don't all want the same information. Like I said, they want something different. They want more kayaking, they want more closer to the animals instead of watching from afar and all that. Okay, there's May, where the animals are first coming out of hibernation. Summer is when everything is all blossoming and good, this and that. And then fall, August, September is when the salmon goes upstream to spawn, and that's the best time to see the bears and the other animals as well. To see the glaciers, you're going to see the glaciers all year, the whole time you're there. But I'm going to state this for Glacier Bay National Park, and if you go on some of the other cruises, they will not all have Glacier Bay National Park. I'm sorry, I have allergies, as you all know, so you see me rubbing my eyes, I apologize. Glacier Bay National Park is a scenic cruise through some of the most beautiful glaciers you'll ever see. As well as a lot of the animals, the whales, the sea lions, all that. Since it's a protected area, Glacier Bay National Park only allows 2 cruises per day. into Glacier Bay. So the most cruise lines that do it is Holland America #1 and Princess #2. So when you're looking for your cruise, you'll see whether or not it's the Inside Passage for with Glacier Bay or Dawes Glacier. Okay, that's another glacier area also in Alaska, but again, that's all up to you what you want to do, when you want to go, what you can afford, the whole 9 yards. That's the 7-day, and I'll get more into that. If you're looking to do the Alaskan Rail, you want to go up to Denali National Park. That is at Anchorage, and that is either northbound, starting from Victoria or Vancouver up to Anchorage, and then Anchorage back down. It's a one-way, and it's very expensive to do more than one flight. I recommend, if you really want to go out of Anchorage, you do the cruise tour. You have 3 days up in Denali and see the inside of the state and not just the cruise area. You get the Alaskan Railroad. You get to see, Mount McKinley. You get to see Denali National Park, which is one of the first next to the Everglades in the United States to have existed, and it's beautiful up there. And now Anchorage during the summertime is not cold. Also, if you're planning on seeing the Northern Lights, you want to go towards August, September. You want to make sure you either go to Seward or Skagway to see it. And from the cruise line, you're not going to see it very clear unless you were really doing the inside up by Anchorage to see it. And last week I was at a travel agent trade show, and they had the Alaska Tourism Board there and Anchorage Tourism Board, and I kept asking about that because I have clients that want to see the Northern Lights, and they said the best place to see it is September, October, and up in the Anchorage area. So that way you have more of an opportunity to see that. You can travel to Anchorage 365 days a year. Yes, there are some cold times to go, but not always. If you're interested in skiing, you get the best downhill skiing. They have the only true national sport up in Anchorage, which is the Iditarod, which just finished in March. Snow shoeing, polar bear sing, so much more. So if you're interested in the 3-day cruise tour, let me know, and also book a year out, because that's a very popular thing as well. So, as mentioning, the most cruise lines from Carnival, Disney, Royal Caribbean, Princess, Holland America, Celebrity, they all do Alaska. But again, I'm going to stress the fact, what do you want to see and do? Yes, everybody has their favorite cruise line out there, but if you're going to do a certain destination, you want to do who does the best of the best, who brings the Iditarod puppies on board, who brings the guides from the national parks on, who brings in people from National Geographic on the ships, who brings people from this History Channel and Discovery Channel, Princess and Holland America do. You won't find that with other cruise lines. I'm not being one-handed on this. I'm just being quite honest of who does it and who does it the best. Again, if you want to say, Cheryl, hey, I love your listening to you, but I prefer, and my favorite cruise line is Celebrity or Royal Great. As you know, I'm not a big seller of Carnival. I'd rather stay away. Disney also does it as well. So give me a holler on that. Okay, let me see if this will work. It wasn't earlier, but I'm going to try and do this and get my screen up here sharing with you. Okay. And we are going into the example of The cruise itself, come on. Thank you. If you have questions, put it in the comment area here on Facebook, and we will answer them for you. But we're going to start with, and this is the time that I'm going on Crown Princess next year. If anybody wants to go with me, we are going Saturday, August 26th, 2023, on the Crown Princess round trip out of Seattle, Washington. Okay, I do have group space, and it's time now to book and start making payment plans and join us. Okay, so what is an Inside Passage cruise? Well, let's go down here. Don't look at that price because what you call group space has different pricing and everything. This is just on the general Alaska website. So with this particular itinerary, okay, you're gonna have 7 days, 4 ports, and 1 scenic cruise, and that's when you stay inside, on the ship, and you're not getting off the ship, and that's when you're stopping at Glacier Bay National Park. I'm going to get to that in a minute. There's a couple of 7-day cruises that you can pick from. Like I said, you go out of Anchorage. That's one way down from south to north. Go up from Anchorage, and you go to Juneau, Skagway, Ketchikan, Victoria, Seattle, and you also get Glacier Bay, and you also get some other glacier areas as well. With the 7-day that is closer for us, where you will have just a round trip without trying to, because if you're going to go to Anchorage, you got to stop in Seattle and then take another flight up to Anchorage. So that's a hike in itself if you're not able to do that. So anyway, you fly into Seattle. Right now, there's a lot of flights that go into Seattle. It's a very popular port for flying, whether if you go to Hawaii, you go to Alaska, or if you just go to the Seattle area. It's a beautiful area to see, especially with the marina and the Sky Needle and the whole 9 yards. You fly in, it's about a 5-hour flight if you go nonstop. And I quoted out yesterday for somebody that's going this year, it's about $450 per person round trip. So you're looking between $850, $900 round trip per person to fly into Seattle. Some things you need to know as well. Seattle Airport is 45 minutes away from the seaport. So if you're not getting in early enough, you may have to get a hotel for the night before and then take a transfer to the ship. The thing about SeaTech, there's no hotels in that area. It's a very commercial area. You want to get to downtown Seattle. I wouldn't say stay at the cruise port. You may want to stay near the marina because the downtown area can get a little pricey. So you want to look, there's plenty of 3- and 4-star hotels. Also check with me when you're booking, because a lot of the cruise lines offer air, hotel, and transfers. And if you do the air and transfers with them, 99% of the time, even if there's a problem with the flight, unless the flight has been canceled, they can get you to the ship on time that day if you book early enough in the morning. So I know here the earliest flight was like 6 a.m. out of Orlando, arriving about 10:30. There's plenty of time to get you by Princess Cruise Line's transfers to get you to the ship on time. So we'll talk about those things later. You go up to, let's look at the itinerary here. So you arrive and depart Seattle at 4 p.m. And yes, we do have excursions out of Seattle if you come in a day early or you have time in the morning. But I highly say if you really want to see Seattle, wait till after your cruise and go back a day or two later after your cruise to have to enjoy it. You could have a day at sea, And then you're into Juneau, Alaska. Now, what's in Juneau? You're going to see the bears, you're going to see the Indians, you're going to see, you can go fishing, uh, so many things to do in the Juneau area. Same thing with Skagway. There's just so many historical things to do there. I'll have more information on the Alaska cruise we're doing for 2023. I have a group page on Facebook, so if you want more information on the excursions and destinations, please let me know. Glacier Bay National Park, as I mentioned, only 2 ships per day allowed in Glacier Bay. It starts cruising in about 6 a.m. and departs at 3 p.m. From there, you go to Ketchikan, and then on to Victoria, Canada, where you could go to the beautiful gardens they have there, have some famous English tea at the hotel there, and then you're back into Seattle, Washington. For somebody that, if this is a wish list to go to Alaska, you want to get your feet wet in Alaska, you know, maybe you want to go back to Anchorage or other areas of Alaska. I know once I go, I definitely want to go back because I love the whales, the orcas. I want to see the sea lions and see what I can, walk on a glacier, you know, smell the spring air. And I have to say, another thing about Alaska, unless you go in May or June, bring a rain jacket because it does rain at least once a day. It rains here at least once a day in Florida too in August, so be prepared. It is warm during the day, just like any other summer day, and it gets a little chilly at night, maybe in the 60s. Remember, you are in Alaska, but you're not going to be freezing there. I believe there were some days last summer that it got into the 90s during the day and the 70s in the evening. So, you know, you'll have some really nice weather, hopefully. But again, we want to prepare you that, you know, it does rain. If you're concerned about bugs, again, that's May and June, possibly July. By August, September, buggies are gone. So for more information on this, please let me know. I'm also going to give, you know, just let me know. With Princess, you have a couple of options. You could do the Princess Plus, which includes free Wi-Fi, dining, and your alcohol packages and gratuities. That's very important to know that you do that, or you got your basic package. So when you're looking to go, there's going to be 2 different pricing available. You let me know. Again, travel insurance is always offered, and we will be putting that on there. It's removable if you don't want it, but I'm going to say about travel insurance. I had clients today, in fact, actually yesterday, clients from New York, and I'm going to say on the shout out to Edwin and Valerie White. Not only are they clients, but they're good friends of ours for over, goodness, 20 years. Good 20 years, yeah. Anyway, they booked a cruise with us on the Norwegian getaway out of New York to the Bahamas. We, in fact, going to go up to Orlando to see them when they cruised into Orlando. Unfortunately, yesterday, Valerie and Edwin got into a car accident on their way to get their PCR tests. And thank God they're both okay, but Valerie broke her wrist. So she needs not only to be in a cast, but she needs surgery. So thank God they had the travel protection because they were able to put a claim in and cancel the cruise and get some of their money back. So remember, travel insurance doesn't always, you know, you may think, oh, I don't need it. But guess what? These things happen. These things happen also if you miss your cruise because you had traffic or you didn't listen to your travel agent book your air the night before if you're flying out of state into a destination. Remember, if we can't get you to the cruise lines to book your air and you need to book your own, you may have to settle for booking the night before getting you a hotel and transfers because If you try to do it yourself, you may not get in on time to get on the ship, and you need the travel insurance for that. Plus, you have the COVID protection now. Thing is that FCC credits are going away, so check with your cruise line or your land package people. Again, I'm just not a cruise lady. We do escorted land and bus trips around the world. I'm going to say, never mind, around the world. We do, and I'm trying to pin this down to the art cities because we love France, Paris, London, Dublin, Florence, Rome, you name it. We want to go to Austria, go to Vienna. Talk to us about going to these destinations. We would love to do your group or your individual trip bookings. We've been doing this for almost 20 years now, so we think we have a handle on what we're doing and how to do it. If you have any questions and concerns, or just want to send a shout out, please let us know. For more information, contact me at 407-910-6469 or reservations at echeveriatravel.com. Have an awesome day, and we look forward to hosting you and your family in the future. Thank you.